Hey guys, Shamar B here. I'm sure you guys saw the previous video. Now, if you guys didn't see the previous video, I would highly recommend that you go check it out. Now, I told you guys that we're starting two segments, right? The first segment that we started, or the first new segment that we started, was Is She the One? Right? And the first episode in that segment was Get Money. Now, I won't repeat the information here because, again, I'm sure in order for you to come and watch this one, it would make sense that you watched that one before. So if you didn't watch that one before, please stop the video. For you guys, jump off the live and go watch it. But for you guys here, stop the video and go watch that one. And again, it's in, so I know YouTube they call it playlist, but me, I call it segments. So go on the playlist, look for the playlist that says Is She the One? You get what I'm saying? And in there you'll see that first episode, or that first video for that segment. All right, and like I said, it's called Get Money. Now, the title of this segment that we're starting tonight is He the One? Now, I want all the ladies to come in. I want all the ladies to jump in and chime in. I want all the ladies to come in right now because, again, I realize that, and again, before I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. So again, is he the one? The guy that you're talking to? The guy that you're thinking about giving a chance? The guy that you might be getting married to? Because again, like I told you guys the last time, that's the language that I'm using. I'm not really using the boyfriend, girlfriend too much. Because again, it's a thing, but I'm using marriage language because, I'm speaking what I want. You get what I'm saying? I'm speaking what I want, and I'm speaking what I want for you guys. You get what I'm saying? So again, the guy that you're talking to, the guy that you're planning to give a number to, the guy that you're looking to start a relationship with, is he the one? Is he the one that God put in your life? And tonight, I'm going to do my best to cover some information to at least give you, I'm not going to say a full roadmap because I can, but I would probably want it to be like a one-on-one conversation because, again, I realize that not everybody is in the same place in life. So judging based off where you are in life, I could give you personalized advice, if that makes sense. All right? But again, Shamar B here, e-commerce entrepreneur, podcast host, dating coach. I'm your boy. You get what I'm saying? So again, the overarching title of this segment that we're doing right now is He the One? Right? But the title, right, which is the subtitle, I guess you could say, is 50-50. 50-50. All right, 50-50. Now, I know, I know when some ladies hear this, they cringe, and same thing with some guys, they cringe. But I'm going to give my perspective on it. Because, again, I've been doing a little research on it for a while now, for probably like 2 years now. I've been doing a little bit of research about it. Like, what's the dealio? Like, what's going on? So I'll do my best. To give my perspective. Now, again, you could take it, do whatever you want to do with it. But my goal tonight is to give my perspective. All right? Now, again, ladies, is he the one? The guy that you're talking to? The guy that you're planning to give your phone number to? Right? The guy that you're planning to, potentially get married to? Is he the one? We're going to find out tonight. All right, so let's get into it. So like I said, the subtitle, right, or the main title of the video is 50-50. All right, now I would want to start with a story. Now, this story, it really surprised me because I realized why some women have problems, with that 50-50 concept. Because at first I'm like, okay, what's wrong with it? Like, what's the issue? You get what I'm saying? But come to find out, you have some guys who are like really extreme, like they're super extreme, and I'm like, that's a little bit too much. So the story goes like this. No, I guess I'll share two stories. So the first story is a case where the husband and the wife, they go on a date, and I guess my girl, she left her wallet or her purse at home. I don't know. But it ended up that the guy paid for the food, and they went home, and he sent her a message, hey, don't forget to sell me back. No again, no again, no again. I never done that before. I don't think I ever done that before. I don't think I ever done that before. Now, granted, if the girl say, "Yo, Shamar, I'll pay," I might push it. I might push no. But if she's insists, great. But that, hear me, guys, hear me. They went on the date. They came back. The guy said, "Hey, don't forget to send me," because I think the food was like $40, right? $20 for him, and I think $20 for her. Hey, don't forget to send me the $20. I'm like, bro, that's your wife. Like what the heck? No, again, that's the problem. That, based off my observation, based off my investigation, that's the problem that most women have when it comes down to 50-50. When they hear 50-50, that's what they hear. That's what they hear. And here's my challenge to you, women. Most guys, when they mention 50-50, that's not what they're talking about. They're not talking about this guy. They're not talking about what this guy is doing. No, guys, that's a light version. That's a light version. So let me give you the heavy one now. The heavy one. The one that really irked me to my soul. Like, I was so mad. And again, I don't know the couple, but I just didn't like what I heard. So basically it went like this. So obviously and I think I don't know if you guys know Dave Ramsey. If you guys don't know Dave Ramsey, you guys should, because when it comes down to finance, money, all that good stuff, Dave Ramsey is your guy, right? So basically, Dave Ramsey, this young lady called in, and she was basically saying that she and her husband, listen to me now, not her boyfriend, her husband, listen to me now, listen, her husband. It's a case where they were about to have a baby, and they had the baby. She had to, as again, I'm sure some moms are watching the video. If the moms are not watching the video, I'm sure some moms are watching the video. So you know what I'm talking about. So it's a case where she had to do the epidermal or whatever that is. I think that's when the baby's not coming out, and they had to like induce you with something, right? And they induced her, and obviously that costs money. Right? That costs money, right? And a bunch of stuff, a bunch of stuff. You know what this guy said? The guy's gonna look at her and tell her that you had the baby, so you have to pay that part. Guys, I couldn't believe, and I'm like, this is what the women are talking about. This is what the women are talking about. This is the problem. Like, I couldn't believe. The guy said, you had the baby, so you have to, and I think it was like 18,000 or something like that. It was a lot of money. And you know what happened? The poor young lady paid it. And I felt so sad. And obviously I didn't watch the full video, but the video that they posted on YouTube, I watched it, but I didn't watch a full video. I didn't watch a full video, right? But it's a case where I was so devastated, because the guy said, you had the baby, so you have to, that's your responsibility. And I'm like, I couldn't believe, that the guy was saying that he wanted his wife, who just had his baby, to pay the doctor bill. It didn't make any sense to me. No, again, that's the kind of 50-50 that women don't like. That's the kind of 50-50 that's not okay. Any good common sense, logical man, big heart, loving man, not gonna go for it. And I couldn't believe it. Now, again, like I said, I'm gonna give you guys my perspective. Now, I wanna share two concepts with you guys. The first, not concept, but two mindset. Now, I saw this guy. He posted this video this week where he was saying something about men asking women what they bring to the table. It was a very interesting question. I forgot exactly what it kind of annoyed me a little bit. Just a little bit annoyed me a little bit because I see what he's doing, right? But it's a case where okay, so he was saying that back then the guys would pay out the bills, and I'm all for that. Like if you're making the money, you have the money, and you have the means, go for it. Like do it, like 100%. However, though, he the way he posed the question was, or the statement had a lot of contempt in it. You get what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a good question. But you know what happened? The women, they got into the comments and they ate it up. Like they eat it like cooked food. They eat it like cooked food, even though the statement that he made is inaccurate. But that's the thing. I can't get off right now to go look for it and share it with you guys. But again, it was basically, he was saying that men paid all the bills and they didn't ask the woman what they bring to the table. Now again, that's gonna be a next episode. I'm gonna talk about that, so just be on the lookout for that. But I won't go down the rabbit hole when it comes down to bring to the table. I won't go down the rabbit hole. But my thing to that was that the reason why the men didn't have to ask what the women bring to the table is because off rip, not even off rip. Let me not say off rip, but during the dating process, during the getting to know process, the men saw all that he needed. Not saying he slept with her, not saying he did anything with her, and clearly in some of those instances they did, because that's why people back then had kids pretty young. But that's not even the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that the man saw all the things, all the qualities, all the wife materials. So of course he didn't have to ask her what she brings to the table, because it was present. It was right there. It was right in his face. So that's why sometimes those people got married pretty young, because he saw the wife in her. But now it's like, is she wife material? And again, I won't even get myself in trouble by starting listing like what's wife material, because I'm sure somebody's asking me, okay, Shamar, what's wife material, right? No, that's a very interesting question. But again, let me go off my culture. Let me go off my culture. So please don't hang me for my culture. Now again, you guys here, you guys can keep your culture, but let me just share my culture. Now in my culture, we would say a wife is somebody who take care of the house, take care of the kids, cook the meals, all that good stuff. And I'm sure somebody is saying, okay, Shama, that sounds like a maid. Okay. But I will challenge you though, is that if and again, if the man hires a male, a maid, not a male, a maid to do all those things that you're saying are maid duties, what else can you as a woman provide? Those are the things that make your wife. Those are the things that are listed. Those are like off rip that we can pick up. Like as men, we look at, oh, she knows how to cook some food, and she seems very kind, she seems very loving, so she'll be able to nurture my babies, all that good stuff. But again, let's say for instance that we hired a maid to do all those things. You as a woman, what else can you offer a man? And forget about sex. Sex is nowhere in there. So apart from sex and those maid duties, what else can you offer a man? No, if you have other things to offer a man, ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 girl. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Now, again, if you do those things, because again, you got some men out there that if the woman don't cook, they're fine. If the woman don't do the laundry, they're fine. Because I know a guy, he said that, when he and his wife got married, she was all about like doing his laundry. He's like, girl, pressing his laundry and stuff. He's like, girl, relax. That's not why I marry you. Because obviously he what he wanted in a wife, he found it in her. And she pressing his clothes, that wasn't one of the things. You get what I'm saying? So again, it's very relative. It's very relative, case by case. You get what I'm saying? As men, what we want, and obviously as a woman, what you have to offer. And obviously, you know, people might say, okay, this is who I am. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do none of that. Yes, there is a man out there that's totally fine with him. There's a man out there that's totally fine. He's fine with that. He doesn't have no problem with that, right? But obviously, you have men who are like myself. Yeah, because like myself, I'm like, hey, I would want my wife to, you know, cook some meals. You get what I'm saying? Now, let's put a footnote on that real quick, because a thought just came to me. Remember what I was saying about the two mindsets back then. The first mindset was that the guy was making as much money for the wife to stay home, right? I heard on a survey that it wasn't a survey, it was more like a research, that the average home, or the average age for a person that used to buy a house back then was 33. Can you imagine that, guys? 33, like 33-year-old buying a house. Now today, the average age is probably, I think they said the average age is like up there, like 50s, 60s. And I'm like, what? 50s, 60s? You sure? You sure? But I'm like, you know what? I didn't dive any deeper in it. I just took their word for it. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, the average person who's buying a house now, they're up there, up in age. But back then, it was 33. Because again and again, guys, and I feel like this is where women need to have a level of understanding to say, yo, and forget the ladies that come online who say they want a man that makes $1 million a month. I'm like, oh my word, I'll be cracking up my. But anyways, I don't want to stray off topic because it's so funny. It's so funny. It's the funniest thing, man. Funniest thing. But anyways, so you have to realize that back then, you know, you could do it now. Don't get me wrong. Like, you could do it now. Like, you could do it now. If a man works a good job, put in some extra hours, of course it can be done, and it's happening. Like, it's happening. It's happening right now. Like, there's a bunch of stay-at-home moms right now, a bunch of stay-at-home wives right now, because their husband is the main breadwinner. You get what I'm saying? So it's happening. I'm not saying it's not happening, but what I'm not saying is that we're not living in the same time. So that's the first thing. The guy made as much money to be able to make the woman stay home. Now, granted, what did the woman do? What did the woman do? She added value to the man's life by being home. She wasn't home on her phone. She wasn't home talking all day. Well, I'm sure they did talk all day with their friends and stuff like that. But, you know, things got done. She cleaned the house. She cooked the food. She did all this stuff. Raised the kids. All that good stuff. Now, my only issue with that, though, is that the guy would probably come in and he didn't really, you know, like, he didn't really, like, help her out. That's my only problem with it. That's the only difference. I'm like, you know what? Maybe if the men back then were doing that, the women, they wouldn't have, you know, been, because some of them they were stressed, but some of them they were happy. Some of them they were quite happy with how things was. You get what I'm saying? Right? But again, I digress. So that's the first mindset, where the men were making as much money so the woman can stay home. The second past mindset is that, like I said, when it comes down to the woman, they wanted to be home. They wanted to be home. Probably some of them wanted to be career women, but most of them, they wanted to be home. And again, they were very supportive to their men. They were very supportive. So are you a supportive woman? Are you supportive? If you're like, hey, that's the lifestyle you want, okay, are you supportive? Because again, it's not easy as a man to go out and to hustle and grind and then come home, and then you fight outside, and then you have to come home and fight in your house. And I feel like that's what some men, married men, single, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend, that's what they're dealing with. You get what I'm saying? So of course, you know, you're not really motivated or excited to go out anymore, because it's like the person who I'm doing it for is not appreciative. So again, ladies, are you appreciative? Do you have a appreciative spirit? Right? Now, there's a bunch of different type of personalities when it comes down to women. You have the soft-spoken woman, right? Not timid. I'm not saying timid. Not timid. Soft-spoken, right? You have the in-between. She's timid, and obviously she knows how to become outspoken when she feels like, right? And then you have I'm not gonna say strong because it even that would, it has a negative connotation as well, but like and not even independent, but like I'm her, you know, that confidence, you get what I'm saying, right? Now again, one thing I've realized is that with all those women, even though they're different in personality, they all want the same thing. They all want to be pampered. They all want to be taken care of. They all want to be loved. They all want to be loved. Today I saw one of those videos where they were talking about like, hey, if you marry or if you date, let me just say marry, because again, like I said, that's my language. If you marry the older sibling, just know that she's been like running the place since she was like 8. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's happened to my sister. My older sister, she could basically be her mom based off how she like run the place. So in the video, the guy was like, don't, just give her a break. Like, because again, she doesn't want her next child. And I'm like, yo, that's, you know, it was funny, but it was a heavy message that the guy was giving. The guy's like, yo, she doesn't want a next child, so don't be a child to her. You get what I'm saying? Well, anyways, the point I'm making by saying that is that it doesn't matter your personality as a woman, right? Based off my observation, based off my research, based on my studying, all women want to be loved. You get what I'm saying? Right? Now, let's get back to the 50-50. Now, when it comes down to the 50-50, one of my mentors, she had mentioned something to me. She had mentioned, I think she said 70-30. I think she said 70-30. But the mindset behind 70-30 or 50-50 is we're building something together. And I feel like that's what people keep forgetting, that you're building something together. So women, like, pay attention to me now, ladies. Pay attention, like zoom in now, like lock in now. Lock in. Especially if you're opposite, like if you're opposite to the whole 50-50 concept. And again, this is my perspective. You don't have to take it, but you're here, so you're gonna hear it. All right. So again, you're building something together, and that's why you have to be careful who you decide to build with. So that's why I asked you earlier, is he the one? Because if he's the one, whatever vision God gives him and blesses him with, and with your love and your support, it's gonna come to fruition. It's gonna come to fruition. It's gonna happen. So again, is he the one? But anyways, let me keep going. So, oh my word, I lost my train of thought. Oh my word, what was I saying? Oh my word, what was I talking about? Oh my word. All right. Come on. I lost my train of thought. So yeah, the 50-50. So you're building something together. So of course, you know, you guys are in partnership and you guys are gonna work together. That's the mindset of 50-50, right? It's not the stories. It's not this. You remember the two stories I mentioned earlier? It's not those. Like, that's not the guy that you want to be with. That's not the guy. He's not the guy. If that's what he thinks, he's not that guy. That's not the guy. All right. But if it's somebody that you can build with, so say for instance, no, he's like, hey babe, and again, let me see if I can give some practical example. Make it practical in a sense. So you guys have the rent. Right, you guys have rent, you guys have light, you guys have this, you guys that. He said, hey baby, I'll tackle the bigger bills. Right, I'll cover the bigger bills, you just tackle the small bills. That's 50-50, guys. That's the kind of 50-50 that we're talking about. That where, hey, you get what I'm saying? This is the situation, you know, I tackle some, you tackle some, and we just make it happen. Now, I saw a video recently that really like changed my perspective. But she said it in one role, but I'll share that, but I'll also share it in the next role. And obviously, I would love to get your thoughts on that in the comment section. So in the comment section, I would love for you guys to give your thoughts on the second aspect. So here's the first aspect. She said, if the guy is making, let's say, $2,000 a month, right? $2,000 a month, right? But his girlfriend, or let's say his wife, because like I said, that's my language. his wife is making $1,000, right? And again, it's just an example sake. You can't really go half and half, as in like, and again, this is the perspective that she gave, that the guy's making more money. So if he's making more money, he could take on more of the responsibilities. That's basically what she was saying. She was saying that if he's making more money, you can't split it in the middle, because again, he's making more money. So it's like, if she gives half, her money is done. But if he gives half, he still has a lot left. So that in the middle won't work. You get what I'm saying? But again, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. But I like that she mentioned. But that's the one side. But here's the next side now, ladies. Here's the next side. Let's say, for instance, that the role is reversed. You're making a lot more money than your husband. You're making the $1,000. You're making the $2,000. Your husband is making $1,000. And again, I want to hear your thoughts. I probably won't give my opinion on it, but I just want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you're making $2,000 and your man is making $1,000, for whatever reason, because like I said, that's why I made the previous video. Now, if you haven't checked it out, please pause the video and go check it out, because again, in that video I talked to the men and I encouraged them what needs to be done. You get what I'm saying? And again, if you're a woman watching this, obviously pause the video, like I said, and go find that video and send it to your man. You know what I'm saying? All right. But again, let's say, for instance, that he's making $1,000 for whatever reason, but you're making $2,000. But again, same scenario. The bill comes, the rent comes, anything, whatever it is. You guys go half and half on it. By the time you guys go half and half, he gives half of his money, and then you give like a quarter of your money. His money is basically done, but you still have bread left. You still have a good amount of bread left. Do you think that's okay? You get what I'm saying? And again, in the comment section, share your perspective. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But that's that. Now again, let's go back to the previous point when it comes down to the 50-50. Now the 50-50 aspect of it is working together. We're building something together. And I had a conversation with somebody. I'm like, maybe I won't use the 50-50 terminology anymore. Maybe I'll just say 100%, 100%. Because that's basically what it is. You have my back, I have your back. If for 1 month something happens in my job and you're working or whatever, you could cover me. You get what I'm saying? But obviously, I feel like it's good to have roles in a relationship. Who's responsible for what? I feel in my relationships, that in my marriage, it's definitely gonna be a must. We're gonna have roles. You get what I'm saying? What I'm responsible for, what my wife is responsible for, just so we at least have a baseline. So if for one at one point I can't come through, she can't come through, we could step up and, hey, you know what? I know this is my role, but for some reason, boom, boom. Okay, great, don't worry about it. I got you. Boom. You get what I'm saying? Just to make it like, a nice solid foundation, in my opinion. Again, you could do your own thing, but in my opinion, that's what I'm gonna do in my marriage. Right? So again, 50-50 or 100%. It's a partnership. And there's women out there, if you don't want to do it, great. There's women out there, they'll do it. I come across them almost every day, right? I come across a woman who's like, oh no, I don't want a 50-50 dude. And again, I feel and I hope it's a case where she met the guy that I talked about in the story. She met a guy like that. I'm hoping that's the kind of 50-50 relationship that she's talking about, and that's the one that she went through and she don't want to go through again. I'm hoping that's what it is. Because if it's a case where it was a partnership and the guy's like, yo, honey, I want us to build something together, and she don't want to do it, somebody else will do it. Because I came across this young lady a few months ago, and she posted this video and she's like, yeah, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind. I see all these girls online saying, their man pay 100% for everything, and I'm like, okay, cool, that would be nice. But if I don't cross that man, and the man that I'm gonna be with, he says, hey, let's do 50, I don't mind doing it. So again, if you don't mind doing it, somebody else will do it, right? But again, a good standard is obviously, the guy, even if it is 50-50, the guy is the head. The guy is the head. You get what I'm saying? The guy is the head, you're the neck. The guy is the head, you're the crown. The guy is the head, you're the backbone. You get what I'm saying? Right? That's how it's supposed to be, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a case where, now again, I know everybody has their different relationship dynamics. I'm not knocking anybody's relationship dynamics, but in my opinion, I feel like that's what it's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be. All right? Now again, ladies, there's nothing wrong with 50-50. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, it's just a partnership. You guys are building something together. You guys are building a life together. And again, it doesn't even, your 50 doesn't even have to be the finance. Your 50 could just be your love. It could just be your support. It could just be a case where he knows that you're in his corner. You get what I'm saying? Don't come on and be that kind of woman who says, my man has to 100%. No, again, there's nothing wrong with that, because there's man out there that's about that life. You get what I'm saying? Right? But don't overlook those guys who want to build. Because one thing I've realized, and again, in my research and looking at, because you guys love to use the past. You guys love to use the past. That's what I keep seeing on social media. You guys love to use, back then the man used to do this. Back then they used that. But okay, what was the woman there doing? What was the woman doing back then? They had their man's back. They were in his corner. They were supporting him. Heck, some of them even sent their men to school. Some of them worked, sent their men to school. Would you do that? Would you, as a woman, would you take your money? You have your husband, and again, that's my language. You have your husband. Would you and your husband say, hey, honey, I want to go back to school, right? But obviously I can't go to school and work at the same time because my class order. Would you pay that? No, if you're not, if you don't have that mindset, you're gonna miss a lot of men. Let me just say that you're gonna miss a lot of good men, because men want women who are supportive, who will support them on their dreams. You get what I'm saying? And let me tread carefully, because again, you have some men that don't need that they'll figure it out in spite of. But I'm just saying, you're gonna miss a good portion of men. You get what I'm saying? But I know all men want support from their wives. All men want to be supported. All men want to be admired. All men want to be respected. And obviously that's the next segment. That's the next video that we're gonna tap into later on. But again, ladies, if your man say he want to go back to school, would you pay? Would you pay? Would you pay to send him to school? That's the first thing. Or would you take care of the house? Would you hold on the house while he goes back to school? Yeah, women did that back then. Right? Okay, back then the men, they used to do. Okay, great. Back then, the women used to cook and clean and take care of the kids and raise the kids and make sure everything is good in the house. Are you willing to do that? Do you want to do that? Or do you just want to, again, go on social media, go party with your friends, go do all of this random stuff that and then again, I'm not shooting no shots. You get what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe I did, right? But again, that's what the women do. So of course, the men back then, they felt obligated to take care of their women because their women got their back. So again, are you the kind of woman that's gonna have your man's back? No, if you're not, you have to do something about that. Read some books. Because obviously it all starts with mindset, right? The first thing is to read some books. The second thing is to get around some married woman. And again, I know, you might see somebody on Instagram, in their 20s. They're great, they're fantastic, but get to some people who are 50. Get some people, who have some years on them. Just keep a balance. Keep a balance with some people who are, some married women who are, in your age group. But definitely lock into those women who are a lot older. And ask them, and they'll tell you. They'll tell you how they got their man back, how they're in his corner, how they're supporting him, how they're there for him, how they motivate him. And again, if you don't have that mindset, if you don't have that way of thinking, it's not gonna work, sis. I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So again, I don't wanna take up too much time. But again, so before I wrap up, I should have mentioned it earlier, but I forgot. But I'll mention it right now. 5 things I want you to do for me, sis, because I know you ladies listen more than men. You ladies are a lot more attentive than us men. The first thing is that if you're not following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Pause the video, like it if you haven't liked it already, right? And I want you to send it to 10 of your sisters. No, again, you can send it to some guys, but I want you to send it to 10 of your sisters that need to hear what got covered tonight. You get what I'm saying? All right? And then you're going to leave a comment. Because like I said, I want us to have a conversation. Even if it's just in the comment section. I want us to have a conversation. I want to hear what you ladies have to say about it. Because like I said, this was my perspective. Now, again, I didn't give the whole thing. You get what I'm saying? Because I want to save some for... Because like I said, I'm working on a community for the men. But I'm also working in the community for the women as well too. But I want to launch the men one first. Because again, I want to straighten out the men first. You get what I'm saying? And then we could come and straighten out you ladies afterwards. You get what I'm saying? All right? And again, the purpose of these communities is obviously two things, the purpose. One is to provide information. Because I feel like the reason why most people are running around like chicken with their head cut off is because they don't have information. I forgot the scripture, but it says, my people suffer because of lack of knowledge. And we're suffering. I think they always say the dating pool has... I don't know if I'm able to say this word, but it has, you know, that P word in it. You get what I'm saying? And I see it. Like, I see it almost every day. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, God bless you guys, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, the second purpose of the community is to network. You get what I'm saying? So obviously, and again, we have a bunch of stuff that we're working on. Because we've been planning to work on an aspect where the people who are in the community, obviously, if the values align, maybe we could do some meetups. You get what I'm saying? We could do like I think I call it speed dating, but it's not really speed dating. But yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. I'll leave it at that. Because again, you guys know what I'm talking about in that sense. You get what I'm saying? Right? But again, those are the 2 things. One, to provide information to the men and to the women, right, of what they need to work on and what they need to grow in. Because I feel like both people need to grow. Both people need to grow. Not just men. Women need to grow as well too. You get what I'm saying? Right? And the second thing is to see if we could create a space where people who are like-minded, who are looking to be married, can connect and to see if they can, you know, find a match. But again, we'll talk some more about that later on. All right? So again, guys, the title of tonight's overarching topic is he the one? The guy that you're talking to, the guy that you're, planning to give your number to, right? The guy that you're looking to get married to, is he the one that God has in store for you? And if not, if he is, right? Yeah, and then the subtitle, like I said, is 50-50. All right? So again, guys, Shamar B here, signing off. Thank you so much for joining me. All right? See you next week.